Hey everybody, it's Peter Crouch of Crash Course Podcast. Hey, for years now, I've been telling everybody why it's so important for you to know where you're going to go if you get in an accident to have your car fixed, right? Well, for years now, one of our amazing sponsors has been V&J Auto Body, right? When we've spoken about these guys, I can't say enough. If you get in an accident, you know that 8 out of 10 people have no idea where they're going to bring their car if they get in an accident. They just don't think about it, right? So we want you to know that V&J Auto Body, okay, is a state-of-the-art facility, all right? And if you need collision work, auto body work, if you're involved in an accident, you're going to have to file a claim with the insurance company. You need to bring your car to V&J Auto Body. V&J Auto Body has been in business for 41 years. They are a family-owned business, all right? They have kept up with the times. They are a progressive, forward-looking shop. They have the technicians, the training, the business processes, the equipment, the facility, all right, and the professional office staff to handle all of your collision needs. All right, and that includes handling the insurance companies as well as the auto body shop side. Most importantly, folks, they have a professional staff that can handle the insurance company, all right, and they have the technical staff that can handle the technical challenges that a lot of these cars have today. All right, V&J Auto Body, located in Lindenhurst, New York. You can reach those guys at 631-226-0070. Know who's fixing your car and why. All right, getting in an accident is no joke, and where you get your car repaired isn't either. Choose V&J Auto Body for all your collision needs. Hey everybody, welcome back to the one and only Crash Course. Good to see everybody again. Been away from the mic for a bit. Again, a lot going on the personal side and professional side of things. So I had to take a little time off again on the business side of things. V&J Auto Body, that's where I work. One of the writers there. And we were relocated down to the production center, and there's a lot going on. It's actually a pretty cool move. I think it's going to be a great move for the business. We're going to be able to take on a lot of the challenges that we were dealing with up at the North facility, the customer relations place, the office. All right, now we're at the production center, so it should allow us to streamline things and hopefully be more efficient at what we do and be able to react more readily to problems that come up. All right, so that's what's going on there. Personal side, getting ready to go to Florida, do the family thing, maybe do the Disney thing. So that's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to that. At any rate, welcome to Crash Course, the one and only podcast that is helping you, the consumer, right? Our mantra, if you've been following us now for many years, we like to say we're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use, and advice you can trust. And I've been emphasizing that for years now, folks. And I'm telling you, the shit that's going on out there, especially on the insurance side, it just, your eyes would roll back in your head. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And I was in that industry for 30 years, right? So I know, the things that they're coming up with, it makes me think like I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, right? I mean, this is how nutso the insurance guys are getting. And I try and address the issue of people listening to me and saying, what do I give a shit? It's insurance, nobody cares. I get that, right? I've been talking about that for years, right? But it's a dry subject. It's not something that comes up at a coffee table, right? It's not something you start talking about when you're hanging out with your buddies and everything. I get it. But I think as consumers, we do that, at our detriment. Okay. And myself included, I've been even being in the industry, even as an insurance professional. Okay. Did I ever read my policy through and through? No. I look at the deck page, right? I look at the deck page and make sure my coverages are what I paid for, or that they're even there. All right, check deductibles and things like that. And you know that we tell people all the time, right? Shop your insurance. It's very important, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, every 6 months, most policies renew on a 6-month basis. So every 6 months, you should be looking at your policy. At least look at the deck page. The deck page, or declarations page to be more official, is basically a synopsis, a quick summary of everything that you told the insurance company you want to be billed for, right? Or, you know, to put it in nice terms, you want to be protected for. All right. So the deck page is a quick reference for you and I, the consumer. Look at what we got, what we're paying for, what we're protected against. All right. Most of us don't even know what the hell that is. Okay. And, you know, I always say ignorance is not bliss in the insurance industry. All right. And I think it's funny because today with the information highway, right, you can access everything. When I started in this business, the insurance companies held all the trump cards, literally, right? You couldn't find. I mean, insurance was like more of an enigma then than it is now, right? Because you couldn't Google this, Google that, right? There was no Chat GPT, no AI robot. It's going to tell you shit. So you just had to rely on the good graces of the insurance guy that was on the phone, right? If you had a claim. Well, I can tell you from experience, having started in that business back in '86, that they exploited the hell out of that. Okay, so I'm not saying that was a great thing or a great time for the consumer back then. But ironically, here we are in the 21st century, right, with access, 24/7 access to all kinds of information, and the AI guy running around, the Chat GPT guy, and all this other shit that's out there. And still, people come into V&J, where I work, V&J Auto Body, and have no idea, have no clue about how to report a claim, what to say, what not to say, what coverages they have. And people, they don't even know what their deductibles are. So, when I talk about this shit and I say, I just said when I started the show that I've been away from the mic for a while, and there's so much crazy shit that's been coming down the pike. It makes your head spin. I know a lot of people might say, wow, this guy's talking about insurance. Who gives a shit? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you ought to give a shit. You really ought to. All of us. Young people especially. You guys out there, 18 to 34, 18 to 35, that kind of age range, you ought to really wake up, guys. Folks, ladies, because there's a lot of shit going on in the insurance industry. And insurance, unfortunately, it's really not a luxury, okay? I guess in a sense it is, because you don't, you can't, you're not really compelled, right, to get it. Although I would argue you are, because you really can't exist in the modern world, right? If you don't have a car, I mean, I know they have these e-bikes now and they're also electric shit, so I don't know, maybe that's going to be an indictment against that. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out. But for present tense, for all intents and purposes, right, we really are compelled to deal with the insurance industry in some capacity, right? Let's face it. Come on, we got to be honest here. You can't really do anything in the 21st century without having some means of getting around, okay? And I'm not talking about work. I know everybody out there is probably going to be like, this guy's full of shit. I work from my house. I never have to get out of my pajamas. I sit in my closet all day. Great. Terrific. No problem. But you know what? You got to leave sometime to get food, right? And I don't want to hear Uber Eats and all this other shit. Okay? That's bullshit too. You go out with your friends. You have friends. I know some people have no friends today. Right now they got Chat GPT robots, that dress up like women, or if you're into guys, whatever the hell your thing is. Folks, bottom line is eventually you got to leave the compound. You got to leave the bunker, right? And unless you want to walk around when it's 20 degrees and snowing out, not me, we have to have a means of transportation, okay? And that means of transportation has to be insured. Has to. You run down the road and you go off the road and you hit somebody and you break their fence, you break the telephone pole, you go off the road, you take out their landscaping, you take out their their $1,000 mailbox. If you're up in Lloyd Harbor or something like that, all right, are you paying for that? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to have to pay for that, right? So we have insurance. So when people say to me, well, I don't really give a shit. I pay my premium. I don't really care. Well, you better care. You better care. Because the insurance companies, once again, remember what I said earlier. What did I say earlier when I started in this business in '86? Okay? All right? People were really ignorant. There was no Google, no ChatGPT, no AI robots, nowhere to go. There was no alternative media. It was nothing, folks. You had to deal with the insurance company. Good luck. You were really at their mercy. All right? And I saw that firsthand. Nobody had a clue. They knew it, and they took advantage of that. All right? So here we are in the 21st century where information is everywhere. And the insurance companies, right, you would think, okay, you would think that the insurance companies have now capitulated, right? Holy shit, these guys can find out anything, right? They even tell you, you file a claim, and what do they tell you? You can go to Geico.com, USAA.com, and you can follow the progress of your claim. You can look at blah, 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 blah. They're even inviting you to take a look at how they do things. You know why? Because once again, they don't give a shit. They're actually embracing this now again and using it against us. And what do I mean by that? Well, here in New York, again, I want to make sure that I'm couching this in the right way here. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm in New York State. Every state insurance laws are predicated by state, not a federal thing. I know there's a lot of guys out there that got on the bandwagon decades ago and tried to federalize this. There's still talk about that. That's bullshit. That's never going to happen. All right. It's a state by state thing. So here in New York State, we have Regulation 64. And another thing, I think Reg 79, I don't even know if that's around anymore. We have Reg 64. We have the Unfair Claims Practices Act. We have New York State insurance law, all right, which every state has that. But the controlling feature here in New York is Reg 64, right? That was created in theory, all right, to protect us, the consumer, against them, the big bad old insurance company. But unfortunately, because of politics, right? It's always politics, always comes back to politics and politicians. Here in New York, anyway, all right? We had a gentleman, you might know him, a guy named Andrew Cuomo, all right? His face is showing up again. He's running for mayor here in New York City. And ironically, I'm hoping he wins because the alternative for them is not good. But that's a topic for another day. But at any rate, when he got in there, he saw fit to pay back his donors and the guys that were pumping him up and everything, and that was the insurance industry. He decimated the insurance department. He basically eliminated it. So here in New York State, we no longer have a Department of Insurance. It's been merged with DFS, Department of Financial Services. I don't know what it's like in your state. If you're hearing me from in other parts of the country, I don't know. But here in New York, it's not good. And so the insurance companies know that, and they've taken full advantage of that. So to come full circle again, when we started the show, and I said, hey, in 86 when I started, ignorance was not bliss, okay? But the ignorance was a matter of reality, right? There was really no damn good alternative to go to counter what the insurance company was telling you or not telling you or how they were handling you. Fast forward 21st century, we got information everywhere, man, right? I mean, you can Google insurance policy, insurance principles, and everything comes up at the touch of a electronic device. And yet, somehow, the insurance companies, I would argue, are putting the screws to people worse today than 30-something years ago. Ironic as that might seem, you would think that finally the playing field has been leveled, right? Well, that's not the case. Not in New York, okay? Folks, when I tell you the shit's getting thick, it's getting thick, all right? And if you have to file an insurance claim, unfortunately, you're going to find out. And again, your agent, your broker, they're going to tell you, hey, man, take a high deductible, lowers your premium, and, we get in an accident, you can work the shit out with the body shop. Bullshit. That ain't happening no more, folks. You know why? Because the insurance companies are now manipulating the very system that was put in place hundreds of years ago. I don't know, whenever the hell they decided to draw up legislation to create the system that we have in place. And what system is that? Well, it's the system of negotiation. Right? Process, I'm sorry, not a system. The process of negotiation. The process of negotiation was the pinnacle of the entire system. They've destroyed it. I shit you not. They have succeeded in finally, the Maya culpa of everything the insurance companies come up with has finally reared its head. Yes, these people have finally found a way to effectively destroy the very process. All right. So, ironically, in the era of instant information and access to anything, right, with the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, when they say pay no attention to that man behind the curtain, that curtain should have been obliterated, right? And it was. Well, guess what? Thanks to the way things are here in New York State, there's very little alternative for you, the consumer, here, folks. I'm telling you. Now, at V&J Auto Body, okay, we are the best. We are the best. We have the best people. All right. Between me and my partner, we have probably 55 years experience on the insurance side. The other gentleman has almost 15 years on the body shop side. And between the three of us, we put our heads together and we really come up with nothing, with no with no answers. Okay. That's how screwed up this shit is. And what's the shit I'm talking about? You file a claim, your insurance company sends a guy down if they want. They don't even want to do that anymore. We have to fight them all the time on that. Their guy comes down. I'm supposed to negotiate with that guy. I'm supposed to get an agreed price with that guy. That guy is supposed to negotiate in good faith with me, and we're supposed to try and come to an agreement in the middle. Well, they don't even give a shit anymore about that, because what they do, listen up, folks, what they do is after their guy negotiates, it goes to some guy in his underwear, God knows where. I don't even get a chance to talk to this idiot. Could be in some other state. He looks at the estimate and tells that guy, no. Take that off. I don't give a shit about what he agreed to over here. And I get an estimate that looks like nothing than what we talked about. That's what's going on, folks. Wake up, okay? Because guess what? This impacts you, the consumer. Because now I go to you and I say, hey, listen, Mr. Smith, I got bad news here, man. Your company, they don't want to pay you for $600 worth of shit that I got to do to get your car back on the road. Oh, really? Yeah. Uh-huh. And I have no leverage anymore. Because I can't even negotiate. They have destroyed the very process that was put in place. It's amazing. It's really, I'm really phenomenally impressed that the way they don't give up, the insurance company. They really don't. They just keep coming at you. So next time somebody says to you, or you say to yourself, you know what? Insurance is a pain in the ass. It's just some bullshit you got to pay for so you can drive around legally. Yeah, it is. I guess in a sense it is. But if you get involved with that process, if you get involved with the insurance, the bullshit that you just have to pay for, and now your car's wrapped up, and you don't own the car. Let's say you leased it, right? Leasing. Woo, I leased the car. I don't have to worry about shit. Yeah, you do. Now you just banged up somebody else's property, which means you're going to file an insurance claim. You're going to come to me with your $2,000 deductible or $1,500 deductible, whatever the hell it is. That just keeps going up. And I'm going to say to you, hey, man, terrific. Unfortunately, I can't do anything for you anymore because the insurance companies have blown up the very process that allowed me to effectively negotiate for you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm negotiating for you to get an agreed price that will return your car to you pre-loss condition. Therefore, I can't help you with that $1,500 deductible. So now you're going to pay me that, right? You're going to pay me the $1,500 that you told the insurance company you had no problem paying. And maybe more. I don't know, folks. It's getting bad. The shit that I see coming down, if you want to go check out an episode we did with the copay thing that's going on in the Northwest, I'm sure that shit's going to start showing up here soon. So next time somebody says to you, this guy talks about insurance and auto body shit, who cares? It doesn't have anything to do with me. Yeah, it does. Okay? It really does. And we all, listen, I don't have to preach to the choir here. We all know how expensive shit's getting, especially if you live in New York State. Okay? It's outrageous. Insurance premiums are up 48% since 2021. That's a lot of money in my book. Okay? You could be the best driver in the world and your rates have gone up. Check it out. Check it out. Don't take my word for it. Go look at your premium. You probably haven't had a claim in 20 years and your fucking premium's gone up probably 3-4 times already. All right. We're going to end it there. Don't forget about Squeaky, man. He is really getting worked up lately because of all the shit that's going on out there. All right? Folks, think about it, though. All right, and remember, Crash Course. All right, we are here for the folks, giving you information, knowledge you need and can use, and advice you can trust. Hey, pay attention, because our amazing media guy, Anthony Barone from Barone Media Solutions, okay? Go check them out, baronemediasolutions.com. They're phenomenal in what they do. They just did a rebuild on our website for collisionservicenetwork.com. We're going to be relaunching that, baby. It's going to be new and improved. All right, so go check that out. We'll let you know when that's up and running. All right, and of course, remember to check out the YouTube channel. Right, we got a lot of action there as well. All right, everybody else. See you on the next show.